Hello, welcome to the Nerd Talk podcast, Nerdy Talk for Nerdy fans. I'm your host, Remington Kais, and joining us today, we got Butch Patrick.
Yes, Butch Nerdy Patrick is in the house.
And Butch, what are you most known for playing?
I was on a little TV show, amongst others, but in 1964, I was cast as Eddie Munster in the now classic sitcom, The Munsters.
All right, so we're getting to our questions. What was it like growing up playing Eddie Munster on The Munsters? And did you realize how iconic the show was going to become?
It was great fun doing the show. I was a big fan of the Universal Monsters, built all the models, and then being able to really hang out at the Universal Studios where it all took place was wonderful. And no, nobody really foresaw the long-term run of it because syndication hadn't yet come into play, and we weren't aware that it would become something that we'd be talking about 62 years later.
Do you have a favorite memory from being on set with the cast?
Yeah, I always enjoyed when the Munster coach was going to be utilized, which allowed me to ride around in the back of the coolest car on TV, and then it also got us out in the sunshine, which was a treat because most of the time we were in a very dark, dingy soundstage.
And what made Eddie Munster such a special character to you?
Well, the makeup for starters, and then the fact that I was just playing myself, and I was surrounded by really talented people that were wonderful and friendly, and I learned a lot from them.
How did being part of the show shape your life after it ended?
Anytime you spend a couple of years doing something pretty unique, it follows you into the public sector, private sector, I should say. So school, kids would, tease you and this and that. But it kind of taught me to be strong. And it also it taught me a lot of skills that came into play later on in life, so that was good.
Why do you think the Munsters is still loved by fans decades later?
Because it was a very loving family unit and with interesting looks and monster makeup and special effects and just great writing.
Do you feel like shows like Batman made you guys have to go more sillier when it came to the show?
No, we were pretty silly to begin with, but Batman came into play, which basically that was kind of our demise, was the fact that Batman was in color and we were in black and white, and we were transitioning out and they were transitioning in. So,
what did you ever take anything from the set or keep any memorabilia from the show?
Not at the time, although I would bring home, my ears and permanent headpieces to give away to kids at school or my friends. But eventually, a few years later, I was presented the Woof Woof doll by the prop master when I was out doing an Ironside, and I was about 19. And then I actually wound up with one of the Eddie Munster suits as well.
If they were to do a reboot today, would you want to be a part of something like that, or are you just kind of done with the leave that in the past?
No, it's always fun to do. I did the voiceover for Rob Zombie's reboot when we did a cameo. The four existing cast members did a cameo in the Munsters today with Edward Herman. So it's always fun to drop in and do a little tribute of sorts.
Or maybe do something like Adam West did, was going back to doing like an animated version. That would be kind of cool.
Anything's possible.
And the last question, what is your nerdiest hot take?
Nerdiest hot take? I'm not quite sure what the nerdy hot take would be, but
something that you would stand on your hill even though other people probably won't agree on.
I don't have one. You got me there.
Well,
I'll have to work on that.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.